Okay, good. So, good evening, friends, and thanks for being here. Yeah, so some of them I have been seeing, meeting, many of them have been on the workshops that I conduct, and they are familiar with the kind of work that I do. And quite a few of them, I'm glad they're all new faces. So, that gives me an opportunity to share this experience, this knowledge, whatever I have gained over the last 25 years to them. Yeah. So here we are going to touch upon a small area of the issue that generally people have in our life, that is anxiety. So we're going to talk about that and a few things that I learned over a period of time, which is helping a lot of my clients here. So today we're going to talk about calm your anxiety. So in my clinical work that I do, right? So most of the clients, I would generally say that there are almost for 50% of my clientele, or maybe more than that, almost 50 to 60% of my clientele is about anxiety and depression. So that is the kind of number I am seeing. Yeah. And so you can just imagine what could be happening in the world out there. Yeah. So it's on the rise, and not just around, we don't now talk about just US or whatever, it's all over in India also. And of course, given the kind of stress that we are going through, of course, and it's bound to rise. It is bound to rise unless and until we don't do something about it. We don't take conscious actions and really start working upon it or start dealing with it. Yeah. So it is very, very important that we start looking at how do we deal with that. Yeah. And let me tell you, it may seem difficult, or it may, for some people, it may seem impossible, but that is not the case. It is not impossible, right? And I can say that with lot of surety. Yeah, I can say it with a lot of guarantee, very simply, because there was a time when I went through it, and I went through it for long number of years, like kind of maybe more than 10, 12, 15 years. And that was the time I actually started gaining understanding about how to heal it. And as I started healing it, and as I started coming out of my own anxiety and depression, I started noticing that I am able to deal with people who are coming with it with much more ease. I can show you cases, and I can show you people who have been suffering of panic attacks day in and day out. And there have been times that just one session has helped them to get out of it completely. I spoke to that same person again after 6 to 8 months, and the person said, I never had even one episode. So that is the kind of changes that can happen with the kind of work that I'm doing. And the work that I'm doing is mostly body based, yeah, body oriented, like somatic experience based. So that is making a huge amount of difference to people, because it goes in and works upon what matters us the most, the bodily experience. And that is where the change has to happen. And we are also going to touch upon very quickly a few things as to where it is working and why things like anxiety and depression, why even after a lot of effort and so much of medication, of course, with a lot of medications, I haven't seen much change happening, very honestly. Yeah, means because a lot of people come in and they say, we have taken it for 10 years, we have taken it for 5 years. And I'm very sure many of you who's have people in your own life, or you yourself have gone through it, and you can say that it becomes a bit tough with medicines, the chemicals that you take that to heal all this ailments, yeah, the disorders. So there is something more than that that can be done, and becomes a way of treating anxiety, depression, and many other diseases more effectively and more efficiently. And once we start practicing it, it becomes much more easier. It becomes much more easier. Like today only in the morning, evening around 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 to 5:30. I had an appointment, and that person was going to something, and I was showing him how to do it. And he says, but it keeps coming back. And then I showed him step by step how do we heal that. And by the time we finished in last 45 minutes or something, he said, I'm much more in charge. I can feel that whole change happening. And this continues on its own also. And sometimes you need good amount of practice, because anything and everything needs a good amount of practice. So we're going to touch upon that also. How do we do that? And in that process, what I'm going to do is that I'm also going to show you how to practice small amounts or small practices. 3 of them, as I said, at least 3 of them I'm going to show, which becomes the base of the work, that is to the core somatic integration that I teach people. The base of that, I'm going to show how do we do that. Yeah. And of course, a bit of how do you work your mind to visualization. So that is also, but you are going to just touch upon it. It's not, we can't have a whole class on that. Yeah. And I'll also share about what I do and how people are connecting to do attending variety of workshops to heal themselves, right? So, and just in case if there's someone who's interested at some point, when I ask you if you are interested to talk about yourself, like Ranjana is there, Vinod is there, or Divyanshu is there, anyone who wishes to talk about your own experience as a change that has happened as you've gone through the workshops or in therapy or whatever, a small area, please feel free to talk about it. Yeah. So that is a request. Yeah. And now I'm going to share about the work that I'm going to do. And I really acknowledge each one of you for being here. And also, I take this opportunity because we are moving on as a team, and we are rebranding and putting the whole thing in a new way, putting it out to people. Like I've been sharing my knowledge, my understanding since last almost 20 years. And today we are working as a team. And today, that's one of the reasons I'm so glad, because today is Gudi Padwa. And I just took this opportunity because it being a very auspicious day, I just thought that let me start off on this auspicious note, sharing this knowledge. So I'm just going to share about that also. Okay, so friends, I'm very, very sure you can see this. Yeah. On your screen. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Great. Okay, so this is the name for the webinars, Rahjiv, Way of Life. And the vision that I want and our team is focusing on is the 3 HSP, that is health, happiness, harmony, success and prosperity for all. Health, happiness, harmony, success and prosperity for all. And that is the intention with which each and every work that I have done till now, I've done it, be it my clinical practice or be it my workshops. And following the vision, a lot of people have shown results in variety of areas of their lives, be it health or be it their harmony in their relationships. And a lot of people have succeeded in starting off and taking off and making a lot of wealth for themselves. So that is what I'm very, very glad of, that it's working for a lot of people. Yeah, so the vision is standing for and facilitating the process of effective change and transformation at all levels of life for millions of people and their families. And the mission is by 30th December 2022, we are touching lives of 10,000 individuals by way of online webinars and workshops. Aim is every individual learns tools and skills to enjoy the health, happiness, harmony, success, prosperity. That is 3 HSP, living a life of freedom, power, and choice. And what we are using over here is the MFGV, that is a mindfulness, forgiveness, gratitude, and visualization webinar. So that is one of the things that we are looking at. And we are a group of doctors, coaches, counselors, psychologists, and nutritionists who are on a passionate mission to spread the awareness and practices of 3HSP. Yeah, and we are coming up with a lot of work for students and diet and nutrition, relationships, health, success, and prosperity. And we are looking at least having 2 sessions a week from this time, 8 o'clock, 8:15 to 9:15. So that is what, just since I am starting off today, I'm just sharing this with you all. And friends, this is there's a lot of work to be happening for a lot of people. Yeah, and I would request right at the onset a lot of support from each one of you to build this work, to spread it across. Yeah, so this is the honorary work that each one is doing over here. Yeah, so moving ahead with today's topic, calm your anxiety. So this is about me. I'm a homeopathic physician by profession, being practicing as a homeopathic physician for last 25 years, and been a new life educator, integrative wellness facilitator, and counselor and a health psychologist, a relationship wellness counselor, and been like my expertise lies majorly in relationship wellness counseling and also in various other work. And I do use the integrative approach to heal the diseases. Yeah, and I've been working with a lot of incurable diseases like even cancers, paralysis, and migraines, and PCODs, and many other ailments. And I found it very efficacious in most of the diseases. Yeah. So how to have freedom from anxiety without medicines, and that without medicines is the key. Yeah, because I've seen that there are so many people who have been taking medicines, and they've been taking it for 8-10 years, and almost every week I have at least 2 or 3 new clients suffering from anxiety and depression, coming with that they have been taking medicines for 8 to 10 years, and the result is that they have been there only. And as far as we understand, and if you understand the body centered work, it has to be like our life has to move in a zone where there's freedom from these medicines. Because if you're healing yourself or you're getting healed, then we got to get free from medicines. We got to get free even from taking that kind of support, like from counselors and all. And as and when we need it, we got to go, rather than being constantly on that. That is becoming dependent. Yeah, you're not getting free, but we are here to live a life of freedom and power. Yeah, and that is what we have to aim at, and that is possible, very much possible. And now we are talking about anxiety. So anxiety, what is anxiety? First of all, any kind of anxiety is it normal or abnormal? That is the question. Most of us make our anxiety as abnormal. Whatever you want to put in, please put it on the chat. Yeah, your queries or just so that I can keep responding. Yeah, if you have your answers are there, just put it on the chat, or you have a query, just put it on the chat. I will definitely answer each one of them later. So anxiety, we generally see it as abnormal, right? How many of you actually see them as abnormal? Just write I. Now the question is anxiety abnormal? Now look at the thing, like you're going for your exams, or you're going to meet going for an interview, or you are going to meet up or something that is new for you, or you're going to, like right now, I'm going to talk to few people whom I don't know, or I'm going to stand on the stage, or I'm going to talk to people in authority in a corporate setup. What happens? There could be some kind of experiences in your body, like I could feel some kind of palpitation, or feel some tightness in my abdomen, or my body gets tense, or I might have other symptoms, or my legs seem to get tighter. Now get this, we make it abnormal. Remember, it is not abnormal. It is normal to feel these kind of symptoms. Yes, it's a simple biological response. It's a simple biological response. It is not abnormal. In fact, it is a protective mechanism. It protects you, right? It protects you, and it's a normal and healthy emotion, and it is very helpful. It is a form of fear. Anxiety is something about something is foreboding, something is going to happen, and I start feeling a bodily experience which produces a sense of discomfort. But get that is that kind of energy, like when you're going to run a race. You're going to run a race, and you're standing at the initial line, the start line, and you are wondering, will I be able to complete the race? Will I make it? Will I be able to win? Will I fall just in case? Is it going to happen? And will I complete? So all those things. So that is also giving you the kind of energy, the power that you put in to make that first leap and then run full speed. So basically, anxiety produces that kind of energy. Like when you have a dog chasing you and you feel that it's going to bite, or you feel the threat. How do you have that energy? Yeah, that is because of the fear. And now anxiety is also kind of fear, which is very helpful. Fear protects us. If we didn't have the fear, we would have just crossed the road on which there's full traffic going full speed. And if you didn't have the fear, you just cross and you can meet with accident. But fear stops you, tells you don't cross now or take some other route. So that is how it is. Yeah. So even anxiety is not abnormal. It is normal. Yes. It becomes a medical disorder. It becomes abnormal, or it becomes problematic when you feel disproportionate levels of anxiety, leading to excessive nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worry. It's always there, or you just cannot have any control over it. It just triggers off and then continues as a sense of feeling nervousness or apprehension or worry all the time. And then it is not in your control. Yeah. And then it also becomes a panic attack if it is happening at a level where you cannot just handle it. Yeah. And this, if it spreads over your life areas where managing anxiety, controlling anxiety becomes a way of life, then get that it has become a disorder. It's only about how do I manage. Like I remember that when I was going through all this, and I would always feel that I'm just getting ready for a very happy occasion. I'm getting ready for a party, or I'm getting ready for meeting my friends. It's just evening out with my friends, very close friends. So it was just a very relaxing or a peaceful thing for me. It's nothing to worry. But I am getting ready, and then suddenly this tightness in my abdomen and my tightness in my neck and my whole body would go tight. And I would keep wondering what's wrong with me. That why is it that I'm going for a good occasion like a marriage or whatever, and I am getting so tense in my body, and then I would get tightness in my belly, I would get acidity, and for no reason. Till the time I don't meet them up, it would keep happening, and then I would try to delay it because I have to now quell the whole thing. I have to bring it down, and this would go on every time. Or pass motions, something or the other happens, and walk down and meet them and feel very uncomfortable. And then maybe after maybe an hour or so of meeting them, I would calm down. But by that time, it has taken its toll. And this would be regular, almost sometimes every day. I wouldn't even know, like I'm coming for a talk like this, and suddenly it would go tight and I would not know. So that is the time when it was a real difficult thing for me. Yeah, now let's talk about this, because it's very, very important to understand how the brain functions when we are talking about it. Before that, let me take this. Now, remember, there are two neural pathways to anxiety. Yeah, there are two neural pathways to anxiety. One is where you're constantly worrying and you're constantly thinking. Yeah, you're constantly thinking about it. So it's increasing, and then it builds, and then it gets into full-blown anxiety. Yeah. but you have thoughts of anxiety. Like, let's talk about the students who are going for exams. Keep thinking, will I get it? They're very good students. They are capable of cracking it with ease, maybe a 100% mark. But will I do it? Will I do it? And then many a times what they do is that they sit down and keep reading, and sometimes whole night. I have clients who have come in. They said that we have studied the whole night without sleep because I have to attend the 9 o'clock morning exam. And this is like, I'm talking about offline. And they go to the examination hall, and within 1 hour, they have gone off to sleep on the desk. And they actually made their fear come true. They couldn't pass that exam. And brilliant students. These are the people who are cracking 95, 98. And they said, when we reached there, we just couldn't think and just went off to sleep in that exam. And one exam you fail, that means you have to repeat that year. So that is what has happened to so many brilliant ones. So that is what it is. Yeah. So that is because of overthinking. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a small thing, and you're thinking, oh, what will happen? Oh, this could happen. Oh, that could happen. Oh, maybe something will go wrong. Something will go wrong to my family member. And you keep thinking, you overthink, and then it builds up all those chemicals and all, and then you go into a full-blown anxiety. So that is one, overthinking, right? The second is very, very important. That is called how the brain functions. So in the midbrain, there's something called, you don't need to know about this, but there is a part called the amygdala. So whatever you are going through, whatever sense experiences you have, that goes through your bodily senses. Yeah, you know that eye, ear, and smell, taste, and the skin. It all goes in. Now it triggers off certain experiences from the past, or how the brain is processing it. So it might look at it as a normal thing, or it might see it as a threat. Now it processes. Yes. And then you are going to think. You think, oh, is it so scary? No, ye to itna डरावना nahi, it's not a snake, it's a rope. And that logic sets in, and you become shant. But yahan pe, what happens is that instead of becoming shant, you're looking at, oh God, what if it's a snake? Oh God, if it bites me, I will go to the hospital. Oh God, what if I die? What will happen to? And good. It goes on. Yeah. So that's the overthinking part. Many times it goes into the amygdala. That is the, and once it goes to the amygdala, and the moment the amygdala perceives it as a threat, get this, if it perceives it as a threat, then it doesn't go and process logically. It becomes illogical, and suddenly there's a reaction. Like, I am going to meet my friends, and there is everything going right, but it is immediately there's a reaction inside, and I cannot control it, and then heartbeat goes up. So all this subconscious functioning, like the heart, the liver, the intestines, and the body muscular tension and all, that is handled by it's a protective mechanism, and it just takes off, and there is no control I have when the amygdala takes over. It's about protecting you in fear, in threat, and that is the time it automatically gets into a fight and a flight response. Ya to bhago, ya to jhagda karo. Yes. And the third response, which is very, very important, that is called the freeze response, jahan pe you become numb, paralyzed, like you don't do anything, you just sit there, or you don't know, it's just happening, and you become very helpless at that time, like a freeze mechanism. And I would keep going into a freeze mechanism. Yeah, so there is cortex based, the thinking brain, overthinking, or it is the amygdala. You can see the amygdala in the brain, and it just takes over and doesn't allow the cortex to think. I can create one webinar on this if people are interested, especially the psychologists, the doctors and all that. or the doctors definitely know this, the psychologists, the counselors and all, and the people, trainers and all who are interested, we can definitely create something where I can tell you how it functions, how it works, so that once you know it, you can support a lot of people. Yeah, my change, my shift happened in working with a lot of people who are suffering from anxiety when I started understanding this better, how it can be applied, and that's where the mindfulness thing comes into play. Yeah, so just let's look back. So you'll see once the amygdala takes over, yeah, there is no thinking. It's fight, flight, and the freeze. That is called the amygdala hijack. This is just for your knowledge. Yeah. Now, so we all know there is a lot of stress around. There's a lot of stress around, and the threat network again, कि कोई चीज डरावना है, that feeling gets activated very easily, and that can activate or affect our mental and physical health. There is no control sometimes that we have. Yeah, though we can keep saying, "अरे इतना tension क्यों लेता है, इतना परेशान क्यों हो जाता है?" But the person who goes through it knows that I don't have control over it. It just happens on its own. And I'm very sure people who have gone through anxiety or are going through anxiety or been through I won't say victims, but people who are suffering from anxiety, they know how difficult it is sometimes. Now, there is one more reason we got to know why people who suffer continue to suffer and are not able to overcome this problem. So let's look at this. So you can see there is one picture where the person is wound up, and there's second where the person is very relaxed and riding the cycle. Yeah. So here we are talking about two types of the neurophysiological response to the threats and challenges that is there in the environment. So day-to-day life, even right now when I'm talking to you, there's a continuous, if the body perceives it as threat, but there's a continuous feeling of threat that can be there, some dog or something or whatever, and the body is responding. That is called the neurophysiological response. Yeah, that's a challenge that is there. And there are two types. One is this external type of challenge. You see, there is a feeling of challenge that is there, that is external, yeah, from outside you. And second is individual neuroadaptability. मतलब मैं क्या कर सकता, how does my brain and my nervous system respond, right? जो भी situation है हमारे पास आता है, whatever is happening to us right now, that's external, that's circumstantial, but my capacity to deal with it, that comes from how my nervous system is responding to it. And I cannot do anything about the circumstances. मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता about what is happening around me, but definitely I can deal with my capacity. So what mostly happens is that in anxiety, people are trying to control what's there in the environment. I will not go there. I will not meet that person. I've seen a lot of people who avoid interviews. There are a lot of people who don't meet up people. They don't go for parties, who are suffering from this social kind of anxiety disorder. They don't go to parties. They don't go to gatherings. They don't meet up people, and they avoid. Now, that is basically, once they start doing that, you are basically in an avoidance mechanism. But in that process, what is happening is that you are losing on life quite a bit. And most of them believe that once I am free of all this and I am overcoming my anxiety, I will be fine. And then I will start living my life. It is almost like if I reach this particular financial standard, I will start enjoying. Remember, to enjoy, you don't need to reach a particular financial standard. You can start enjoying, like meeting friends or whatever, or just playing some games. You don't need to reach a particular financial standard. And the same thing happens with anxiety. Most of the people believe कि जब भी मेरा anxiety चला जाएगा और मैं एकदम normal हो जाऊंगा, फिर मैं अच्छी जिंदगी जीऊंगा. That doesn't happen. Remember one thing, anxiety is a part of your life. Anxiety is a part of your life. Get the word, it is just a part of your life. It is not your whole life. Treat it like a part of your, like a hand or leg, and it goes along with you. And if you can think differently and deal with it differently, of course, you can crack it easily. But of course, you need to put in your effort. So there is this external challenge and there is this neuroadaptability. There's not much you can do about what's happening outside, but definitely अपने अंदर की जो capacity है, you can increase it. Your neuroadaptability, you can do something about it. How you think, how do you feel, and that is what is the practice. Yes, there are hormonal imbalances that causing anxiety, but of course, with all that, there are root causes to it, and that is what we got to deal with, the root causes. Yeah, most of the people say there is chemical imbalance, yes, and all that, but the thing is that what is it that has caused the chemical imbalance? We got to deal with that, because a lot of people take a lot of chemicals to deal with the chemical imbalance. Now the chemical imbalance stays and you're adding more chemicals. Now you get used to that kind of chemicals or dependent on that chemicals. Now you have two problems. One is the disease itself, and one is caused by the other chemicals. And that is one of the issues. And I'm not saying they don't work, they do work, but most of them become dependent and they've been told not to stop it, or they continue it for a long time. And there are secondary effects, or rather, as Darren Brown says, there are no secondary effects of those medicines. There are direct effects of those medicines. There are no side effects of those chemicals or the medicines that you take. They're called direct effects. They call it side effects, but there are no side effects. They are direct effects. So, and that set me thinking that yes, we are talking about side effects, trying to mellow down the effect, but it's not side effects. They are direct effects, and that can be worse than what you're already suffering from. Yeah, but if you go to the root cause and deal with it, then it's almost like you're working on the foundation of the building. The building is shaky because the foundation is weak. You bring down the building, you make the foundation strong, and then the building that you make is like the new building that is quite stable. So that's exactly the formula that you got to follow. Now we are talking about, again, we are going into the nervous system. Now remember, we are not just talking about something vague in the head, or this is in the mind, or some that people call it as, oh, holistic. That doesn't work just because there's not much research done. There's a lot of research done, and there's a lot of work done, and especially all over the world in all research centers, there's a lot of work done. But we are also bringing up the scientific side, the biological side. Yeah, not negating all that. It's not just, oh, I imagine, I feel it, that's why I think it works. No, it is not like that. It has been proven. And we are talking about nerves, nervous system, neuroadaptability and neuroplasticity. Now, neuroadaptability is the ability of the nervous system. Nervous system is the brain and the rest of the spinal cord, or जो nerves आपके body में जा रहे हैं वो. The ability of the nervous system to alter responsiveness over time to reoccurring stimuli. मतलब बाहर से कुछ हो रहा है, and my nervous system is reacting to it. How do I alter it? Yeah, and the body has the ability to alter it. Like you have one reaction, one effect from the external environment. Now the way I think and way I practice, right? My nervous system starts responding in a different fashion. Like you are scared of dogs. Yeah. So your nervous system is scared, and you are scared, and you try to run away, or you cry, or you scream, and whatever. But if you have your own dog, over a period of time, you notice that your fear of dogs, many a times it goes down. That's because your nervous system can alter the response. Second is, that is called neuroadaptability. And second, we are talking about neuroplasticity. That means the brain, it has been seen that over a period of time, as you change responses, right? The brain, it forms new neurons, right? जैसे आप कोई exercise करते हो, you're not an exercise person. The brain is in a particular way. Now, if you start exercising, doing some Tai Chi or some Qigong, or you do some yoga, or you do some martial arts, or you do some regular exercises and all, the brain, there are certain parts of the brain that will show changes, right? And the same thing about some kind of study or some kind of meditation. The brain shows change happening physically. Yeah. And that is what the human brain is capable of: adapting, mastering new skills, storing memories and information, and recover even after a traumatic brain injury. So that, what does it mean? That there is a lot of hope. What does it mean? That there is a lot of hope in anxiety, depression, in all the cases, in all the diseases, right? And that is what we have to understand. We have to gather for ourselves, that whatever, wherever you are, you can change the way of thinking, the way you operate. And even people who are getting scared of interviews, I have seen them doing very well. Students who have been getting 60, 50, 55, I have seen them jump in a month or two to 85, 90, 95 also. There are people who have become, who was getting 55 have become engineers. Someone who was getting 65 or something has become a CA. So, and get that, it's just that you're tapping into that area which is not functioning. People who have not been able to work or not do jobs, they have been able to do jobs and take up businesses. People who are onto substance abuse, they have been able to give up. And like sometimes within a month's time, I have seen them going for jobs and they're saying, we are not wanting to do. People giving up smoking. Sometimes it's just a matter of, like, in an instant, people have just given up. And that is the kind of power that we are talking about when we start working at the root causes. This is the skill that you learn with the practices that I'm sharing. And this is exactly what I'm saying. You can change. And these are skills to be learned. It is not that, oh, that person is capable and I'm not capable. No, it is not true. Everyone, हर एक इंसान में वो क्षमता है कि they can change and they can create the kind of life they want by directing their nervous system, their brain, in the direction they want, by having complete control over their bodily functioning, by training themselves to specific skills, yeah, and have developing certain understanding, and also by putting in those kind of information in our body and responding in a different way. It's possible to majorly bring about a shift in any kind of disease, any kind of disorder, and live a very healthy, happy, harmonious, joyful life, and also prosperous, the kind of life you want. And it's possible, and sometimes in a very short period. So because the brain rewires itself all the time with new experiences, like this person who's trying to drive and the person who's learning football. Like, so just few months back, like last year, I started playing basketball with kids, and I never played, but I could see that I could run, I could basket, I could do all that with a lot of ease, just in a matter of a month or two. So that is what it is. So even if you don't know, and at this point, and I was playing with kids half my age, my children's age, and I could still do very well. Yep. And you can learn how to rewire your brain to be less anxious, and that is neuroplasticity. And there are 3 steps to rewire the anxious brain. Yeah. So are we ready for the exercises and all? In some time, I'm going to show you certain exercises. Yeah. The 3 steps to get the body accustomed to be in charge of fear again, to be in charge of the anxiety again. Now, it doesn't matter which area of life you are in. You might be a student, you might be a parent, you might be a businessman, you might be someone who's struggling with your business, you might be like just an individual struggling in your relationship, or you are someone who's just lost and you're confused and you don't know what to do and how to go about with your life because it seems like a mess. जो भी तुम करते हो ऐसा लगता है सब कुछ गलत हो रहा है. Doesn't matter what position you are in. It just doesn't matter. It's the matter that you start off somewhere, kahin shuru karo, and then direct your life in the direction of the goal that you want. I always tell people, first thing is you need to have a goal. It doesn't have to be a big goal that I'm going to be like this, I'm going to be like that, I got to have 100 crores. It could be just that in this 1 week, I want to achieve this. or in this 1 month, I want to achieve this. Are we together, students? Just something small that I want to achieve. And what am I going to do for that? Ye practice, and remember, it's all about practice. You got to practice. I've been practicing all these things for minimum 22 years. Every day, day in and day out. And today I'm in a position to support people, thousands of people, with a lot of ease. Right? And also, I am constantly studying, reading, imbibing new knowledge with a lot of ease. Something that was so difficult some time back. Yeah, so it is possible. And also to achieve what you want. No, so now we are talking about the 3 steps. The 3 steps, this is all in a workshop, but I'm just going to talk about it, which I call as witness sensing. That's a word I have devised for the work that I'm doing. ADI. Acknowledge and accept what is there. That is there, what is happening in the body. Witness sensing is the way you observe your body as to what's happening. And then you have to discharge the extra energy. And thirdly, you integrate the new experiences. Now, this is all a practice. Yeah, I'm going to just talk about and show a little bit of it. Yeah. You learn in core somatic. This is all what you learn in core somatic integration, and I call it accelerating cures, because I have seen that people who have been suffering for a long time, very rapidly they start changing. Yeah, and they have been able to achieve the kind of results that they want to. And this is integrative body centered approach. And moving stillness, this is what I teach. Meditation and movements. These are all slow movements. I have my own channel, and you can always get onto it and also check and practice it. I have put certain YouTube videos where people can practice, and that itself is going to help. And I'm going to show one of them today, the breathing part. So I want you all to visualize any anxiety situation right now. Just अपने ध्यान में कोई भी situation जहां you feel anxious, उसको लेके आओ. And just notice, what are you feeling? What kind of thoughts you have? Now, students who are there, students, you can bring up what you are feeling about your studies and all that. All the people who are otherwise, the homemakers, the businessmen, the corporate guys, or the counselors, just visualize one situation where you are getting anxious, maybe at your work, at home, or with your family members. Just observe. And then observe, what are the thoughts, what are the feelings, आपको क्या feel होता है? What is the body behavior? अंदर से क्या होता है, बाहर से क्या होता है? How do you react? And just start putting it on the group. Put it on the chat. Irritation, anger, heart pounds, body shakes. Yes, very good. Very good is not for that you're suffering. Very good is that you're acknowledging it. Heaviness, yes. Stomach grumbles. Okay, that's all anxiety. Restlessness. Hostility, sinking weight, facial muscles tight. Very good, you're acknowledging brilliantly. Helplessness, shivering, regret, anger, feelings of revenge, not doing anything for fear of karma coming back, helplessness, fear of discomfort, comfort. I use restroom also outside due to tension. Let me tell you, this was something that I was suffering from day in and day out. I had irritable bowel syndrome, and but it has worked out brilliantly well for me. And I suffered a lot for many, many years, right from my medical college till some years back. Yeah, and I was told that you'll never ever get rid of it. but that's not the truth. Anger, headaches, restlessness, resistance to feel sensations. Yes, you just close down. Very good. So that's quite a bit of it. Yeah, stressed, tired later, of course, because there's a lot of energy being used up when you're anxious. There's a lot of energy that is being used up to think and to feel all and whatever's happening in the body. Feeling of not being able to explain anyone what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what is that is where you also feel like what I also used to feel, that what do I tell? So I would never tell my friends also what I'm suffering. Many of them never knew. In fact, my family members also didn't know that I was suffering of anxiety, because I would not share it with anyone, because bolu to kya bolu, because it was, and I had, let me tell you, I had severe amount of a lot of phobias, yeah, dissociation, numbness, yeah, guilt, right? So now all these things are there. So just notice that you just visualizing this anxiety situation without any external triggers right now, you are already feeling it there. Yeah, head gets heavy, body heavy. Yeah, and don't feel like moving or talking. It really takes away. That is like, again, many of the times, and maintain this that you have said that not moving. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, because that is one of the things where even people who are traumatized, why do they get traumatized? And one of the reasons is that there's no movement that is happening. Yeah, the people feel very helpless and they get stuck in a position, and it has been proven that the more you remain stuck, the more traumatized you get. People who can move in that situation can get less traumatized. Yeah, so that is also been proven. So movement is also the key. We're going to touch upon that also. Now we are coming to what we are going to learn today. This is something that we got to practice. Yeah, but before that, just adding to the theory, the 3 steps to rewire the anxious brain is, first of all, understand anxiety. You got to understand your own anxiety. Know the 3 points. Understand your perspective. How are you seeing it? Many a times what happens is that we see anxiety or the situation as dangerous. Yeah, but get that your anxiety is only trying to help you. It's a protective and it is a motivating mechanism. As I told you about that runner who's running that race, the anxiety is that there's extra energy to take that leap and run full speed, or it protects you. Like if you are scared, you might not do things which you might do otherwise because you're not feeling it, and you say there's something not right, and then you learn later that good, I didn't do that thing because otherwise it could have been bad for me. Yeah, or but also look at your perspective. Are you seeing it as dangerous? Are you looking at the rope and feeling it's a snake? Are you looking at the rope and feeling it's a snake? And that can be like, oh, I'm scared. Yeah, but if you logically visual see it, maybe there's nothing to get anxious. So first of all, you understand your perspective. Second is, when is it a disorder? When see danger, when safe. As I said, if you're continuously seeing, like I still remember, I would have my family member, even if a slightest problem anyone had, I would get so anxious. Oh God, what will happen now? What if I lose the person? What if I have to put that person in the hospital? And I would get so scared. So that is the time when it was like a disorder. When it interferes your functioning, as I said, that I could not meet up friends. For a long time, I would not go to meet my friends, though they would meet up in the evenings and all. I would not meet them because it would be so anxiety ridden. Yeah. And I would try to avoid it. Though I would be connected, I would be there socially. But the thing is that many a times it would be like I would stay away from people because that anxiety is building up inside. Yeah. So that, and also reactivity was one more thing that was happening. So it was impacting my relationships big time because people would not know why this person gets so upset and irritated. Avoidance increases anxiety. This is something that we got to know, that most of the people, they try to avoid their anxiety. Now there's a cycle to it which I'm going to show now. They try to avoid the anxiety. मुझे वो anxiety को avoid करना, मुझे feel नहीं करना. So they might drink, they might watch TV, they might keep getting onto phone calls, or they might leave their house and just go out, or they might meet people just to avoid anxiety, or they might get into substance abuse. But remember, the more you do it, the more the anxiety gets stronger. The more you do it, the more the anxiety gets stronger. This is something that we got to know. That is something that we got to learn. The more you avoid anxiety, the more your anxiety grows. So the way to deal with anxiety is to face it, is to confront it. And we are going to learn how to confront it small. Yeah. Lot of ways to avoid physically and emotional avoidance, substance abuse, staying, running away, exercising. Exercising is too much. Yeah. Know the anxiety cycle. See, this is the anxiety cycle. There's anxiety, you avoid, there's a short-term relief, but there's a long-term anxiety growth. The more, and this is what I used to do, the more I avoided something, the more the anxiety kept growing and I would not know what to do. The anxiety cycle, again, we are talking about the steps, same thing. Interpret situation as dangerous. ऐसा लगता है situation जो है वो dangerous दिखता है, and then we avoid it, we run away, and then there's a relief. Now remember one thing, ये brain जो है and the mind, what happens is that the moment it finds relief somewhere, it will repeat it. So now when you escape it, you feel relieved, but the mind says, oh, that is how you found relief. So first it will give you anxiety more and more. And the more you run away, the more it builds up anxiety, because now it has found a way to find relief. So the anxiety keeps going up. Mind is always going behind something that is familiar. उसको जो पता है उसके पीछे जाता है. Now if it knows this cycle, it will keep increasing the cycle. The way to change it is to break that cycle. Yeah, and we are going to learn today how to break the cycle. So all the people who are there, many a times this anxiety cycle, we have thoughts. Many of the students, they might think, oh, I'm not good in my studies, I don't do well, mere se to nahi hoga, the other students are better, or business and family members, I don't know how to do it, I always do something wrong. And then you get worried, you get scared, you get angry, you get upset, you get reactive, and then you have bodily symptoms. You might sweat, you might faint, and I would get a lot of sweating in my hands and feet and my face, on my head. This whole thing would go wet, even if I'm sitting with my friend, and they would keep wondering what's happening. But over a period of time, I learned how to manage and operate my nervous system, and nothing of that sort. Behavior, I avoid, withdraw, aggression. Now, rewiring the brain and changing chemicals. Third part is dealing and healing anxiety. One is, are you willing? First of all, the question is, are you willing to make a change? That is a question that you got to ask yourself. And so all the people who are willing to make a change, show a thumbs up or put a thumbs up sign on your screen. All the people who are willing to make a change. That is something, remember, that's a commitment that you have towards your own self. Yes. Yeah. So just be very clear that you are the one who's doing it. अगर आप तैयार हैं anxiety को change करने के लिए, तभी वो change होगा. अपने आप नहीं होता है. Remember, everything in life needs willingness. You want to join a job, you want to become wealthy, you want to have a great relationship, you want to have harmony in your life, you want to achieve the kind of status that you want, or it could be just whatever you want to achieve. Willingness is the key. Second, change the rules. Don't go after avoiding your anxiety. Just because I'm angry, I scream away, and I have people around me, they stay away from me, and you say, oh, this works for me, but you are avoiding being with yourself. And the more you do it, the more you're going to suffer. The more you're going to be, because you are caught in that loop. You are trapped. You are in the mind trap. Now, in order to get out of the mind trap, and remember that mind trap, that is you creating your own cage in which you are trapped, and you're making that cage narrower and narrow. It's squeezing you in. Now you got to break free. आपको उस ट्रैप में से बाहर निकलना है, आपको उस केज में से बाहर निकलना है. अगर निकलना है तो आपको डिसाइड करना मुझे निकलना है. Then the ideas come in how to get out. You cannot get out without that. So, and what is the way? It is to observe rather than to avoid, rather than to react. You got to observe what's happening and confront the fears. And how do we confront? That is what is witness sensing. I'm going to show you that. So this is some of the things that I do, help people mindfulness, practice mindfulness, Tai Chi, and all the mindfulness and meditative exercises. And it is all targeted with the intention of dealing with the issues that you are going through. Yeah. Now, everyone we are going to get into exercises. Yeah. So first of all, we are going to do the 3-3-3, follow the 3-3-3 rule. Yeah. So what you're going to do is that you are going to observe, just look at the three things around you. Okay. Right now, I'm looking at the flowers. I'm looking at the curtain, and I'm looking at the sofa, and I just acknowledge, right? Second, I hear three things. I hear the AC, I hear the tick-tock of the clock, and I can hear some kids making noises in the background. Maybe they're playing. Okay. Or I just heard that AC making the tuck sound, or I can hear footsteps outside. So just three things. Okay. And then three things that I feel, three sensations in my body. Is that clear? So, sorry, three movements I make. Remember, I told you that when you're anxious, you don't move or you get stuck. So all you got to do, I will do one hand, I will do my neck, and I'll move my legs. Or I'll just stand up and sit down. Or I'll just do one movement. Any three movements you'll do. All are ready? Okay, friends. So first is look at three things around you. Any three. 1, 2, 3. Right? And just observe how you're feeling. And now, here three things. Any three things. It could be your own breath. Just hear it. It could be in a distance. It could be close. Three things. You can even hear silence, by the way. And make three movements. Any three movements. And just observe how you feel now. You can go again, look at three things. Now be a bit more mindful. Look at 1, 2, 3. Observe how you're feeling. And this is something that you got to practice. Yeah. And now hear three sounds. Observe how you're feeling. And now make three movements. Make it gentle. Smiling is good. That's one thing that we got to learn from kids. Huh? They know to smile, laugh with ease, which we don't do. We are serious. Great. And now just observe how you feel. Just put it down on chat, how you're feeling. so that we move. And I'm taking some time. Yeah. And I'm going to take questions, queries after 5 minutes. Once we are done. So all the people who have questions, please park it. Yeah. So feel here and now. Yeah. So instead of writing good, write what you're feeling. Good is not a feeling. Yeah. Start writing what do you feel. That would be much better. Where you feel it. That is be health. Yeah. Relax. Keep adding. Something in chest. Yeah. What is it? I feel present. Freshness. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Freshness, not something in chest. You have to be, if you more specific you get, you can connect to that experience, that emotion with much more ease. I feel subtle movement inside. Good. Good. Light, mood change, smiling, seeing some work to be done. Hey, that's great. Achha, it's good, good. Keep adding. Yes. We'll come back to this later. Keep adding. All the people just keep adding. Yeah. Now we are just going to do the breathing exercises, which I teach. It's there on my YouTube channel, Moving Stillness. I'm going to teach that. So all of you, you can stand up, yeah, or you can do it sitting also, but standing is what I teach generally. Maybe you can't, you'll be able to see me. So this is a practice which I teach in my Moving Stillness. I am a Tai Chi and Qigong practitioner and a teacher. So I'm going to share that knowledge with you now. So just put your hands on the sides. We are not going deep in this. And now just lift your hands in front. Very slowly, slowly. Can you see? And let the hands hang. So it is very relaxed. Lift it above your head and then on the sides. Just drop it. And as you breathe in, breathe out, just drop. Soft hands, very soft hands, kids. Very soft hands. Yeah, breathe in. You're not tightening any of the joints. You're just losing it, leaving it relaxed. So you see, there's a curve at the elbow. We are not tightening it. And then as you bring it on the side, you drop. Soft hands, very soft hands. Once more, we're doing it 3 times. Just breathe in. Lift it up above your head. And this is very, very slow. In fact, you can go slower. You do it 3 times. So let's do once more. And this time we'll go slow. Yeah. Okay, stop here. And now go the other way around. The way you did it, you're doing on the opposite sides. Breathe above the head and drop. Breathe above the head and drop. This is called whole body breathing. Breathe. Feel the breath going into your belly and spreading through your body. And as you breathe, bring your hands down. Feel that the stagnated energies are going out of your body. Yeah. And now hold the hands like this in front of your abdomen and breathe in. Feel the whole body as you breathe in. Feel the whole body is filling up with breath. And as you breathe out, the stagnated energies, the tight energies, The energies that are not moving is leaving your body. Okay, breathe in and lift your hands up like this. Yeah, the elbows also, the forearms, the elbows. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out very slowly. And breathe out. Breathe in now. You're not able to see me completely, otherwise I'm going up and down on my knees also. Breathe in and breathe out. Yeah, so it is lifting the elbows also, not the, this is not this. So people who are doing this, it is this. Yes. Yeah, again. Go down, up and down on your knees. Yeah. And now, once you're back, put your hands down and just observe how you feel. Just scan your whole body, your breath. Like I tell, mind, body, and breath. This is what you have to observe. Mind, thoughts, body, and your breath. Just notice what are the changes. You may feel some kind of tingling happening in your hands or in the body. That's a very good sign. That's of energy flowing. Right, friends, come back. How are you feeling? Now remember, this is a regular practice and I do this every day. This kind of practice. This is just one. There are hundreds of them and I practice various things with this. Yeah, and one more thing. He's drinking water. That's very good. Yeah. So it's not wrong to feel tingling. No, it is not wrong. It is good. Extremely centered. Tingling is a good sign because the energy starts flowing. And as much as you keep practicing, you'll start feeling the flow happening in your body. Yeah, you feel lighter. You feel as if you're expanding. That's all a good sign. Remember, we need more. I feel magnetic pressure kind from my hands. Very good. Yeah. So we'll go ahead to the last one. Then I'll take all the, yeah. Now the visualization bit. I told you that I'm going to show you one visualization, one mindfulness. We did the mindfulness, we did the breathing, and one visualization. And now just close your eyes, everyone. Just close your eyes. Pay attention to your breath. So with the students, you visualize how you want it to be. Like your exams or whatever, that you are getting the best marks that you want to have. You already got it, right? Or you want to excel in some kind of games that you're already doing well in those games. Or you want to have become very peaceful, or you want to be very calm and relaxed when you're studying. Visualize yourself already as being that. For rest of them, visualize like without this anxiety, how would you feel? Like you're free of all this anxiety bit and everything. You already got out of it. How would you feel? And just notice the breath, the body sensations, and visualize yourself there. Maybe you're meeting people, you're cracked the interview, or you achieved that status, or your family members are saying, hey, you become so calm and peaceful. So just you are out of it completely and then already there. Just notice how it feels. Take your time. Just pay attention to your breath. Just observe your breath going in and coming out. You're not forcing your breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body touching the place where you're sitting. Your clothes on your body. Include all the sounds around you if there's any kind of sound. Do not negate it. Just allow it to be included. Breath, body, sounds. And now visualize yourself being in that calm, peaceful state, or having achieved that state already. You can also connect to some instances when you felt very calm and relaxed. Maybe you went on a trip and you felt very calm, peaceful, and relaxed, or you were meeting up your friends, or you were watching the sunrise or the sunset and you felt very calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Just connect to any of this. Observe your body sensations, your bodily experiences. Breathe in deep and breathe out. Breathe in deep and breathe out. And slowly move your hands, your feet. Stretch yourself, move yourself. And then open your eyes. Write down whatever you feel. How is the experience? How was the experience with these 3 exercises? In the meantime, let me also tell you, feeling very relaxed and calm. And this is just the beginning. Powerful, very good and relaxing, extremely charged, feeling relaxed. And remember, we just did it for 3 to 4 minutes altogether. We haven't done much. Now you can integrate all 3 of them. The 3-3-3 rule. Yeah, seeing, hearing, or the bodily experiences and the movement. That is one. Secondly, you can do the breathing exercises and then just get into visualization. Just 5 minutes. Amazing experiences. Students feel connected to themselves. Great. Thank you. Yeah, just keep adding. I'm just going to go ahead. Now remember, the body heals itself. You got to learn how to communicate to the body. The body knows how to give you the best, but you got to learn. And as I said, I have this various YouTube videos which are there on my The Good Sleep, and also to deal with anxiety. I'll be putting this on the group, so you can wait on the group for some more time. I'll be putting it, have a look. Yeah. And if you wish to join the channel, there are a lot of videos on moving stillness and also on my own channel, Dr. Rajiv Naidu. So you can just have a look. Yeah. And hear the sound. So the calm body creates a calm mind. So in the next session, I'm going to come up with more of acknowledging and acceptance practices, more of the qigong or the mindfulness practices for anxiety and various other ailments, and also how do you get over all this. So that is what is going to be my next thing. And as I said, oh yes, Omi, wish your dad on my behalf, Omi. And this is the moving stillness. Every Saturday for people who want to join, every Saturday, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. We are having it on Zoom. Yeah. And there are almost 20 people or more than that who are there on the group. Currently 20, but there are 25 students who are learning this. Yeah. So anyone who's interested, you're welcome. I'll send you the details. And also very useful for cancer survivors, fibromyalgia symptoms, chronic fatigue, insomnia, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid, so all these things. Yeah. And this is core somatic. In 2 days, you learn 6 steps on how to have freedom from diseases without any harmful effects of medicine. And in 30 minutes, you learn steps to transform diseases in natural health. In 3 hours, you learn one simple methodology to have freedom from diseases. And not only that, for counselors, psychologists, doctors, it's a very effective and very fast therapy that is there. Yeah. So people who are interested can join in, can ask for details. Yeah. And that's going to happen sometime later. Yeah. And spread the awareness. This is a request. If you wish to have sessions for your community or organization in Hindi or English, you can feel free to contact us on Rajiv, RAHJIV 3hsp@gmail.com, or you can contact on my number 98208 00120 98208 00120. It's there on the WhatsApp group. And a big thank you to each one of you. Yay! So friends, ask questions. Whatever questions you want to ask, please go ahead. Feel free to ask. We are done for the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So any questions that you want to ask? You can open your videos and ask.
Any prereq to do somatic course?
Somatic course meaning you are talking about core somatic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is no prerequisite. Anyone can join any age, any time, doesn't need any formal education, nothing. Thank you, Divyanshu. Could you please explain what exactly somatic therapy is and what exercises or techniques? Techniques are more mindfulness, being aware of what's happening. There is step-by-step taken, hand holding is done. Like there are some people who have done it, and somatic is basically connecting to your bodily experiences and how do you connect to what's happening and how do you connect to the traumatic experience and heal them. And sometimes it is within 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something that you have been suffering for last 20 years or 30 years. Yeah. So someone who's already done core somatic who would like to share? Anyone who's there?
Can we do it for others also?
Yes, you can. You can integrate it into the work that you're already doing. So most of the people who are joining in, there are a lot of counselors, there are a lot of therapists, there are a lot of healers, and also like someone like Vinod is not even into this field, but he's also joined in. Vinod, do you like to share something?
Yeah, it has been a fantastic journey with you. I joined during the pandemic and I had a preliminary as well as the highlight, I mean, a second course also. And I am not a therapist nor a counselor and all, but definitely sometimes since I, I help my friends with some of their issues, like it gives amazing results. Like one of my friend, he had after a viral infection had a facial distortion, and he was undergoing therapy for that, physiotherapy, and it was taking time. I just thought, okay, let me try what if I can use this to help him, if it could be helping. And within 3 sessions, the healing uh, increased. The physiotherapist was himself saying, you are improving faster than what has happened till now. So definitely it has helped. And in another case, it was a case of neuralgia, where within 2 sessions, the person was able to move the jaws, which kind of was very painful for them. They were not even able to brush and things like that. But within 2 sessions of 1 hour, we could make sure that the jaws could be moved. So it's a very simple but a very powerful technique, and it's very easy to learn if you are really involved in it. All it needs is an open mind as well as the practice, which he always insists that you do it on yourself, you learn. You need not have any other person to do this. You can do it on yourself, and it gives a lot of benefit.
Yeah, thank you, Vinod. Thanks for that feedback. So this is Vinod. So this is this is what he said, that it's very simple to practice. And that is so true, that it's a very simple practice, and anyone can do it. Like I have had kids also doing it and practicing it. Yeah, and they have found that they were able to do it. I still remember my own niece. She was like, maybe at that time she was almost 16 or something, and she said, okay, I'm going to take this up and I'm going to teach everyone. Yeah, but she's got into something else. But the thing is that it is so easy because she could do it on anyone and she could do it for herself with ease. Yeah, and it's just about observing. Yeah, any other questions? So yeah, so it doesn't include dance, yoga, and nothing. Yeah, it doesn't include that. It includes witness sensing, noticing what's happening, a lot of mindfulness work. Yeah, any other question in anxiety or in the work or in learning about something else? Any questions you want to ask? You can just open your mic and ask questions.
Could you please explain more about how witness sensing works?
Yeah, just a minute. I'll just take Divya because she was the one who went first. Yeah, just a minute. Divya, please ask.
I wanted to know, like in few cases, I've seen quite a lot of cases of depression and anxiety and worked with them. They've recovered, but they talk about, complain about forgetfulness.
Yeah.
So can this help in that area?
Yes. Now, depending upon what kind of reasons are there for forgetfulness, like sometimes we also know that when there is a lot of, if there's a traumatic experience, many a times we don't want to remember it, but also how the brain functions. If we are trying to forget something, along with that, all those things that are connected, that also gets forgotten. But at the same time, it becomes a habit to just put everything on a back burner or just suppress it, and you may not be able to bring up those memories. But when you ease off, we know that anything that is easy, like I tell the students, anything that is, when you are doing it with a calm mind, you are able to remember better. But when you are stressed, you are not able to remember. Yeah, because it just closes in. So same way here also, when you are just relaxed, since you are coming from a very relaxed experience now, you are able to recall it much better and much faster.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. No medicines are being used in somatic therapy. Yes, it just without anything. Now remember, it's also body-centered counseling only, because when you're working on a person and you're interacting with them, it may not be the counseling that we generally talk about, the cognitive, but it's also cognitive. It's also a very subconscious counseling and therapy, right? So this is answering the question someone has asked on the chat. So yes, Divyanshu, you were asking a question. Divya, hope I answered your question.
Yes, but I wanted to know one more thing. Can this core somatic help them to cover up that part also?
Yes, yes, yes. See, it can help in anything like what Vinod has just mentioned. So I have not worked with anyone on the, and I show it on the, I demonstrated on the group only what is being done. So it has not been, but he's worked with someone who's having that neurological pain and all that. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whatever the ailment is, it works. It doesn't,
Okay.
the name is not important.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, Divyanshu, you are asking a question?
Yeah, I was just asking about how witness sensing works, and I have another question. I also want to understand how homeopathic medicine is different.
How homeopathic?
Medicine is different and better in ways.
So there, it is not better, or you can definitely say it's different. Yeah, it responds, but the base of all these therapies, which are more holistic, and homeopathy also remains the same, right? Because they all work on a universal law that is from within, without, from up to down, and from more important organs to lesser important organs. That is how the disease goes out. Yeah. So what happens in case of other medications, even allopathic, it is not about the organ. It is just that we want to kill the disease now, and it doesn't matter if a deeper organ gets affected. So you might be suffering from headache, but after you take the medicine, something deeper might get affected. And but the thing is that your headache is gone. That is more important. So that's not how it works. So all these holistic medicines, they work from within, without. Like you are working from something that is much more deeper, much more essential, much more vital in you, and slowly the effect starts showing outside. So once your inner organs, especially the way it is made, all these areas, the head and the till the abdomen and the reproductive, these are all very vital organs. So once they get free, the kidneys get free, the liver gets free, and then it goes on to your skin or something, it doesn't matter. So this is how it functions. Yeah. So this is the universal law. It saves the deeper, inner, more important organs and spreads it out on the lesser important organs. Like if you have a skin problem, that's not a problem. Are you getting it? But your liver is very important. So that is how it functions. So both of them, only thing in that, you're taking using medicines and you're using pills which are in a diluted, in a particular dilutions and all that, in an attenuated form. But in this, you are connecting directly to the bodily experiences, the traumatic experiences, and healing them. Yeah.
So, is it safe to say that homeopathic medicine would take longer, but the solution would be more resolved?
Yes, it might take longer because it is working at the root cause, and it is slowly, it takes its own time. I would not say longer. Yeah, it's not necessary. The way it has been put every time homeopathy is longer. No, it is not longer. Only thing is that you have to take the medicines for 1 or 2 years, and people call it longer. But look at all the allopathic medicines, you've been taking it for 20 years.
Because
And
they
it's
only
only,
deal with the symptoms.
so which one is longer? That's the question I ask people.
Yeah.
Which one is longer? If you're taking it for 20 years, which one is longer actually? You have to
I
start.
mean, longer to see the effects, but yeah, I get it.
No, not at all. Not at all. It is not longer to see the effects. Like I can just give you example. Just last month, I was having this cough, and they said that it's post-COVID and all that. And suddenly at night, 11:30, I could not, the phlegm got stuck and I could not breathe. And slowly it became so much that I just felt that I'm just going to die. I was just, and it was 12 o'clock at night, and I just felt that I'm going to. So I called up my therapist, my homeopathic practitioner, my colleague, and I was prescribed some medicine, and within 15 minutes, I was completely out of it without any medication, without an inhaler. So it's one of the fastest and the most effective medicines that you can talk about, provided you get the right kind of medicine. But if you're talking about some kind of liver disease, or you're talking about something that is there for 20 years, then you got to give at least 6 months to 1 year. But most of the people are ready to suffer for 20 years and take the same medicines, and they call this as that it is longer. No, it is just because you have to stay with the same person. But you're any which way staying with medicines for 20 years. Which is longer? It's logical.
My first part of the question was about witness sensing.
Yeah, please go ahead.
How does that work?
Witness sensing is basically, as we have learned in anxiety, it's about observing what's happening rather than to avoid. It's about confronting the issue the way it is in the form of bodily experiences and all that. So that is what witness sensing is. It's a very mindfulness technique. Right? And remember, the body knows how to heal itself. We got to learn how to communicate to the body such that it heals. अपने बॉडी को पता है कैसे ठीक करना है सब कुछ, लेकिन हमको नहीं पता है कैसे हमारे बॉडी के साथ कनेक्ट करना है ताकि वो अपने आप को हील कर सके. We don't give that opportunity only. हम उसको चांस ही नहीं देते. Before it can happen, we suppress it. I either watch TV, or we do something, or we drink, or we get into busy with work, and most of them that's the way कि बस busy हो जाओ ताकि हमको ध्यान नहीं आए. Remember, this is subconscious. Even if the car is not moving, but the engine is on, आपका engine खराब होगा, आपका oil use होगा, आपका petrol use होगा, बाहर से कुछ नहीं move होगा. And even if you keep the vehicle in the same position, the tires are going to get affected. It will rust. Are you getting it? So this is how the body functions. You've got to observe. So when you look at the car properly, you move it the way it is. It slowly and steadily. It keeps more being helpful or useful for a longer period. Any questions, friends? Anything about anxiety? Anything you want to ask? Anything about the techniques? Okay. So friends, thanks a lot. Yeah. So I'm asking someone taking, so would they also need anxiety medicines, or can they heal without the help of psychiatric medicines? So friends, remember this. I never tell people to stop psychiatric medicines, because a lot of them come with psychiatric. They are already taking medicines for last 10 years, 7 years. So I don't tell them to stop psychiatric medicines. That is not what we are doing. We are not against any kind of medications. Yeah. But at the same time, I tell people that the doctor or the psychiatrist who's giving the medicines, he also would be actually wanting to stop the medicines provided the symptoms go away. The disease vanishes. So when the therapist, the psychiatrist is able to see that the person is taking control, taking charge, is able to have control over one's thought, over one's behavior, is finding to be becoming more functional. Any doctor, any psychiatrist would be very glad to minimize and even bring the medication to the bare minimum or stop it. Yeah. So if they are not on medications, I don't tell them to start, but we just manage with this. But if they are on medications, no stopping, but over a period of time. Like I have a lot of psychiatrists who send their clients to me or send the patients to me, and we work together. Yeah, a lot of psychiatrists who send, a lot of counselors and therapists also send their clients, because it's possible to heal. Okay, does that answer your question? Yes, thank you for that. Anyone else?
Sir, I think Jayanti has asked for the course duration and charges for core somatic.
I will send it to you. Okay, I can show it to you. So basically, it is around the core somatic. So instead of a 2-day thing, I've made it a 4-day thing now. Earlier it used to be 5 hours, 3 to 8. I made it from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10:15 for 4 days. So after 2 weeks, we are having this session. So you can, anyone can join, and the charges is actually 14,000, and currently, just a minute, I'll just show it to you. So this is where it is. Yeah. So people who want to know about this, let me show it to you. Yeah. So this is happening from 13th to 16th April, from Wednesday to Saturday. So earlier I would do it as 2 days, but people have difficulty now and they have requested for a evening, late evening. So it's from 8 to 10:15, and the fees for the workshop is 14,000 on the spot, but early bird discount is 7,000. So it's a 50% discount. Oh, sorry, this is the old one, May. So it is still, I think 6th, 7th. If you pay by 7th April, you are, yeah, I've written it down. From 7th April, it is 9,500. So you can pay up. And if there's a group of 5, there is a little more discount. If it's a group of 8, there's a little more discount after that. And you can contact me on 9820800120. And this is my website, rahjivnaidu.com, rahjivnaidu.com. Yeah, so hope this is clear. Thanks, Priyanka.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anyone else? Any questions? Okay. So how did you find the session? Was it helpful?
Yes, sir, it was very helpful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Neha. Hope your students also enjoyed it.
Yes, they enjoyed and they felt very relaxed and charged up.
Good, good, good. Thanks.